Right guys, this is the past tense, the three charts that we need you to learn for the past tense, the imperfect. I know you can't see it all in camera at the minute, but I'll just point. Imperfect, perfect and preterite, the three past tenses, okay? Before we start, I'm just going to explain the 6 parts of the verb chant, just to help you remember which order things go in, okay? Whenever I don't know if you've seen the charts in my room at school, but if you haven't, and you'll see on here in a minute because I'll point them out, from top to bottom, the 6 parts that whole infinitive gets split up into will be 6 parts. So the first part will always be I. The second one is always you. Third one, he, she, or it. It can be any of those. If you want to say we, it's that one. If you want to say you plural, it's that one. That's if you're talking about a group of people. Or they is the 6th one. Okay, these are the 6 parts of the song, of the charts and the songs that I sing. They will always be numbered 1 to 6, top to bottom, okay? So if we just pull that back a bit, hopefully you can see one. So I'll look at the preterite one just to point out that. You've got I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. You can see it with this one. Just move the camera a little. I and you and he, she and it, we, you, they. And again. I and you and he, she and it, we, you, they. They will always be 6 parts. They will always be top to bottom, okay? That is how they are. So that whole infinitive, whatever it will be, for instance, we did use earlier cothinar, to cook. You would just knock your AR off and you would do either stick your endings on with these, or you'll do something different with this one, which I'll explain in a minute. Those 6 parts, that's all you'll have to do, okay? The chant to help you remember those 6 parts. And once you get all these songs in, you won't always need the songs. It's just to get them in your brain, okay? It will go. It's on, just check it's on, yeah. So it goes like this, and practice this because it will help you. You can count it on your fingers after if it helps you think, 4th one is we, etc. So it goes like this. I and you and he, she and it, and we and you and they. Okay, and again, I and you and he, she and it, and we and you and they. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6. Oh, done it wrong, that one. I and you and he, she and it, and we and you and they. Count it on your fingers, and then you'll think, oh, it's the 3rd one, the 4th one. If it worked better that way for you, just remember the pattern and the order it goes in, okay? Right, just another quick pointer. All these charts that I'm going to be showing you, the past tense, the present one and the future one, these are all for regular verbs. Not all verbs will fit into them. Sorry, pardon me. That's great. This one keeps falling off. Not all verbs will fit into this chart. These charts and these patterns, they don't all fit in because some verbs are irregular. As they are in English, they don't always follow patterns. I will do videos for those as and when as time comes. But just to point, I'll explain each chart, just how many irregulars you're going to sort of basically be thinking about at the back of your mind for future. Or if you want to look at your own research yourself, look on the internet and study them before I get around to a video. It's only going to do you some good, isn't it? So for the imperfect one, which is the I used to, I was somethinging, there are only 3 irregulars for that tense, okay? 3. That's all you've got to learn. So all of that pattern is fantastic. It's a good verb to remember, good tense to remember, because it's quite an easy stem endings to put on. There's only 3 irregulars to remember. The perfect tense, to have something, that one. Ooh, excuse me. To have something, you will always need those bits, but some verbs you won't be knocking the AR off or the ER, IR. You'll just have a separate word altogether. That's the only bit that's irregular, and there's about 10 to 15 of those that will teach you at a later date, okay? Or you can look them up. The past participles. If you want to Google irregular past participles Spanish, you will see the list. So you will always keep that bit, but those bits, you won't be using them, using those. You'll be just using the set words that you'll see. And the preterite tense is the hardest one for a lot of people because they're all over the place. This one is like if I cooked, I went, I saw, etc. See, irregulars coming soon in song. These endings are quite different. They're quite, there's a lot of accents, a lot of different letters going on. It's a lot for your mind to take on board. That's for the regular ones. The irregular ones, they're just set ones you've got to learn. It's about 10 to 15 most common ones that you're going to have to just learn inside out. But even those even follow patterns within the irregulars. So again, it's just practice, practice, practice. Get the songs in, practice forming them, testing yourself. Which one do I need? Do I need this one? Do I need that one? And it will just happen. Okay. One last thing. I just really want to point this last thing out before I do all these verb videos. When we do talk about me gusta, me encanta, me interesa, me chifla, me fastidia, me does not mean I, okay? It's a set phrase that they all mean slightly different things. It means it enchants me, not I love, actually. It enchants me. It pleases me, me gusta, not I like. It's just a set phrase. It gets quite confusing for people, I think, because it's one of the first things you learn, and then people get stuck in the habit of writing me before everything, thinking that's the word for I. It isn't, okay? Just learn, whenever you've got to say I like, I love, all of those, just remember your set phrases. For every other verb, obviously, unless it's irregular, you'll just knock your endings off for your past tense and your present tense and stick different endings on. That's enough. You don't need to start writing me everywhere, or te, or le. Only for those set ones. Me gusta, me encanta. Le gusta, le encanta. You just knock your endings off and stick some on. Okay? Right. Just 1 minute. Okay, so the first song in the past tense I'm going to teach you is for the imperfect, okay? If you see in English, or you want to translate something from Spanish to English, English to Spanish, it's when you want to say I used to whatever, or I was something. So for example, I used to cook, I was cooking. As soon as you see that, read it, it's the imperfect tense, okay? And these are the endings that you need. They're very, very pretty. I do like this tense. It's quite an easy one to remember. So for GCSE, they're not too particular about if you get it right between, if you think, oh, it should have been an imperfect instead of a preterite. Not too fussy. It is good if you can remember which is which. It will get you higher marks. But for GCSE, as long as you use a past tense, when it's, and you've recognised I need to use a past tense, you can use this one if you can't remember all the others, okay? As long as it's written correctly, because it's about being correct with your verbs, your tenses. Okay, so this song is to, all the past tense songs are to ABBA. I did have some help with one of the year 8s, and well, it was year 8 now, year 9, going into year 10 soon, helping us to write all of this. There was quite a few students from the MFL club that helped do this, which is was fantastic. I shall name names if they want me to at a later date. Okay, so the imperfect tense is to Fernando by ABBA. If you don't know that tune, go onto YouTube. But it goes, the stars were bright, Fernando. Okay, and it goes like this for the AR. Start here. So yeah, look, so for all the AR endings, you'll just knock your ending off and you'll just stick one of them on. So you knock your AR off your AR verbs, just stick one of them on. For ER and IR, they follow the same pattern. You just knock their ending off and stick all those on. And that's it, depending which one it is. So if it was AR, if you wanted to say I used to cook, you would knock your AR off that cothin, and just put cothin, abba. If you wanted to say I used to eat, you'd think, right, it's that one. I used to eat. Comer is the verb, so it's ER. Knock your ER off. Aye, comía. Okay. It would be good if I had some visuals to help you do this as we go, but if you transcribe what I'm saying and take notes while you're doing it, that'd be great. I just haven't got a lot of room to do all fancy stuff yet. So if you transcribe, write down this video, any tips and tricks, it'll really help. So it goes like this. Abba, abas, abba, abamos, abais, aban, the ARs. Ia, ias, ia, iamos. Eis, ian, ia, ia. Then there are only three irregulars that you need to know. But for now, master this pattern well, then it will gel forever. I'll do it one more time. Abba, abas, abba, abamos, abais, aban, the ARs. Ia, ias, ia, iamos, eis, ian, ia, ia. Then there are only three irregulars that you'll need to know. But for now, master this pattern well, and it will gel forever. Excellent. Just pause it 1 second. Okay, now this is the perfect tense. The perfect tense is if you want to say to have something. So I have cooked. I have, so it's got the keyword have something in the past. I have been, I have seen. You have been, you have seen. You have cooked. They have cooked. She has cooked. Has or have, all right? Plus past participle, past tense. This is to Take a Chance on Me by ABBA. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. Go onto YouTube, find the tune, and it goes like this. As a, hemos a base, and then you knock off the end of any full verb. Then you add an addo for AR verbs, an edo for ER and IR. There are a few irregulars that need to be learned thoroughly. But first we need to learn this pattern well. Sing it through again so it will gel. Okay, one more time. As, a, hemos a base, and then you knock off the end of any full verb. Add an addo for AR verbs, an edo for ER and IR. Okay, so you will always have that bit. But this, you'll always use one of those, whichever one you need for the I have bit, which is it looks a little bit different to the verb tener, obviously, but you just use this particular pattern when you're using tenses, you use this verb. So just stick one of them on, and then you'll knock your AR off the verb, stick an addo on the end, and you'll have it. So I have cooked would be he cocinado. I have eaten, he comido. Okay? I'll try and do some exercises with these to, as your home learning continues, to have a bit of practice with it all, okay? I'll do this one more time because people forget this one. Okay, I'll just check the time, okay? So, as, a, hemos, a base, and then you knock off the end of any full verb. Then you add an addo for AR verbs, and edo for ER and IR. There are a few irregulars that need to be learned thoroughly, but first we need to learn this pattern well. Sing it through again so it will gel. Excelente. Un momentito. Okay, now this is the preterite tense. This is the one that is the hardest one to remember because there are a lot of irregulars, but this is for the regular pattern verbs. And there are a lot of those as well, so you could get by with a few extra irregular bits. So if it was I somethinged, I went, I did, I cooked, I baked. It's an action that's just finished. I did it last night. I did it yesterday. It's been done and dusted, not like an ongoing action in the past. That's what you'd use the other tenses, past tenses for. This is a finished action, done and dusted. I did this yesterday. Okay, so this is to Mamma Mia, ABBA, and it goes like this. Easteo, amos, astes, aron, nana. That's the AR endings. Easteo, amos, astes, aron, nana. That's the AR endings. Oh, but there's other ones. ER and IR ones. They're similar, but a little different. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. E is the EO, E mossi, Stacy, eron. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. E is the EO, E mossi, Stacy, eron. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. If a verb's regular, it follows this pattern. If it's irregular, you have to parrot learn some set ones. They are tricky, but don't get glum. You have all the time in the world to perfect the secret of Spanish words, namely verbs.